to chase APC away or chase Tifnumbu away is being sponsored from northern Nigeria, but they will need their counterparts in the south, even if they have to use, so even if they have to use Obi to be their presidential candidate, and everybody will hide behind him and then bring themselves back to power. So they will do everything, of course. Dumebi and his own people, they will probably be eventually, sort of like I said. So Nigerians who are already looking at them, they are looking beyond. This is what they are telling themselves now. They are looking beyond seeing El Rufaya, seeing Atifku, Amechi, Malamu, and all these other criminals, right? Going from here to here, grinding from here to here with Peter Obi, despite their role, especially in the list 2023. So people are looking beyond that right now. That's why I said that whatever you and I think at this point will make little or no effect at all. So Dumebio or anybody that comes up to now kind of start pointing out all these, all these characters and then their vices, right? People will automatically tell you that are they worse than what Tifnumbu is? Are they? So if you stand there, you are considered as an enemy. Just get ready for it. I remember on this platform I said, most of you disobedient, you will end up having to begin to defend the criminals of Nigeria if for any reason they decided to go into any arrangement with Peter Obi. Now they are into an arrangement, even though that itself is, sick as some K-leg, you say. Because if they lure the obedient into their midst, and they fail to give Obi their tickets, just like that, just as loud as this is right now, the withdrawal will be louder. That is my own, that's my own projection. So Dumebi and his gang, I use gang now because, everybody is pretty much like pushing their own agenda, right? And that reminds me also of 2017, 2018, when we're talking about the similar coalition, right? A similar coalition of Showore and all these young guys who wanted to be president, only for us to realize later that through this same Tifnumbu, that supposed coalition, remember, that supposed coalition that produced, what's that guy's name again? No. His name is, that motivational speaker, remember him? That produced him that time. Fela, I think his name is Fela Durotoye. So the establishment is always there, as they are saying right now that inside their ADC, there is a mole. And inside the APC, there is a mole too. Inside their ADC, there are moles, Tifnumbu's moles. And inside their APC, there are also the northern moles. So it is the mole for mole and aura for aura as we speak. So it is going to be a 2-horse race eventually. And my own money is on the post charade. I don't know. Don't see me as a bad person, okay? Because I believe this is going to eventually implode. And when the implosion happens, right, I want to be there to cover it live, of course. And that's where I'm putting my money on. So that APC, will have, rogue for rogue, criminal for criminal, gun for gun, and whatever it is, or violence for violence and all that. And using the power of incumbency as expected to untwist the rest of them and see if he can also untwist them to silence like they did in 2023. That's why I believe they won't be able to. And that's why I'm putting my money on that. They will form national government of Ibiton Baloi last year, because it is obvious if Obi says he is not joining them because he's desperate to be president, he just wants to see Nigeria work. Well, those he has teamed up with right now are desperate for power. So everybody gets his own agenda. So last, if Tinubu come out for them, they go out for him. And at the end of the day, Baba, that's why I say doors to said to if there's still Nigeria, then no. Now government of national unity, they will force them to do, or everybody will have to run away at the end of the day. I don't know, because I spoke fast, right? Don't worry. It is in my head. And somehow, I'll put money on it. That it is going to come to pass. So to you, the obedience, don't get too emotional, okay? If you have been on Mayegun's Diary Political for a while, you probably should remember I told you that Atifku, Amechi, the Bokuwaris people, and the rest of all these guys, including some of the people within Tinubu's regime, if they end up teaming up with Peter Obi, you are going to also become, you see this Ronukus. Yeah, the Ronukus back then, when they were following this change nonsense then, right? So they were calling the PDP criminals, corrupt, this, that. The moment they started their APC, guess what? PDP corrupt, PDP this and that, right? They were among the first people that they camped into the APC. And guess what again? The people that were abusing them, their followers, they started praising them. And right before my very eyes, they started saying, in politics, there's no permanent enemy, there's no permanent friends. You, the obedient, you are convinced that a new Nigeria is possible. But to get to that, your new Nigeria, you would have to take the old Nigeria with you. In that sense, right? In the coming days, weeks, you probably would have to get used to, defending criminals. You are going to defend the El Rufaya. Some of you are actually smart, though, or at least appear to be smart in the sense that I have seen, smart obedience who are saying, listen, that I am supporting the coalition does not deny the fact that these guys are criminals. But my own safety bet is that if they make Peter Obi their president, you trust him that at least, even if these criminals would have influence on his government, there are some certain things that within his purview that will automatically actually really stop now, like the wastages. I think I agree with that. The corruption, it will reduce. Do you know that whatever you feel about Peter Obi right now, like I'm not comparing them all. This is just free gist now, okay? No matter what you, the obedient, feels about Peter Obi right now, as convinced as you are, he's educated, he's an experienced private sector businessman, he's been a public administrator, he's not corrupt, he's not a thief, and all this stuff. And when he was the governor of Anambra State, with the little resources he was exposed to, he did wonderfully well. You see all that belief. Do you understand that that's actually how those who were following Bokuwari in 2013, 2014, that's how they believe too. And because of that same conviction, I'm not comparing it, I'm just saying the supporters mindset now, okay? That mindset of the Bokuwari may be around thieves. As long as Bokuwari, who is a general, who is not a thief, is the president, it will stop all those thieves. Guess what? 8 years after that, not only did they empty the Central Bank of Nigeria, they tanked Nigeria economy. They destroyed Nigeria defense, if it ever existed, all right? They destroyed that. And of course, they ensured that tribalism, bigotry, religious extremism, they became very much established in that contraption. And of course, terrorism became an industry too. At the end of the day, people are now saying that Bokuwari didn't know. He didn't know. All these things they are doing under, he didn't know. So yesterday, those who looted and destroyed Nigeria under Bokuwari, they were at that coalition. One of them is Rotifmi Amechi. The guy behind behind their NSAS massacre and the one that sat on all investigation at the time, protected the the murderers, those killers. That person is Malamun. Remember? Now, I don't know what you would expect Obi to do. But I'm just kind of like reminding you that whatever that mindset is, this contraption can be saved. But if you think you can, there is no harm in trying. But I will be here when the whole thing goes up in smoke. And of course, yeah, you can also tell me that, okay, what are you doing? No, nothing. I've told you. I've got no dog in your fight. You believe that a better Nigeria is possible. You believe that Nigeria can be saved. Good luck. Go try. I'm not even like, I'm not blaming you if you choose not to, right? But go on, go try. My own money is when Nigeria implodes because of the actions and inactions of these rogues. Some of us should probably be preparing ourselves to be part of the countries that will rise from the ashes. Well, you can save Nigeria. You want to save Nigeria? Good luck. Come on. I don't think you will need more than just 10 million of Nigerians to save this one Nigeria. Out of the 200, if you have 20 million, that's 10% of the population. You don't even need everyone. Right? Right. Here, from a soldier's perspective, again, say, well, I know they finish. A soldier believes that the revolution that will envelop Nigeria should start from the military, at least using the life experience of an average soldier, watching these civilians and even their own senior chiefs, like their leaders, fritter away what should have been the Commonwealth that should have provided all the necessary support they needed for combating the terrorists. And since the corrupt military chiefs and politicians are just making money, on their lives or over their lives, right? If there's going to be any saving for Nigeria, it should start from the military. In this way.
Right, it's me again. Don't forget, I'm the other rank general. I'm here to open the eyes of soldiers, if possible, for revolution in the military. Before I proceed, please watch this video.
We can say now banditry is an industry in Zamfara State. Last month, we arrested a member of the State House of Assembly in banditry here in Zamfara State. We arrested a district head we also as well arrested a former local government chairman. So you can see that involvement of this class of people in banditry is more making the situation to become more
in an unjust society. Silence becomes a crime. Silence becomes
in essence a threat. I can say that,
and that is what we are facing today.
All
this is a police officer with all this credible, traceable evidence. This is not maybe the normal bloggers. This is a police officer. But everybody kept quiet with all this evidence, with all the names he's even calling, with all the people that they arrested. That was how one retired intelligence officer came out the other time to say so many things. We are keeping quiet, and the whole thing is getting out of hand. I will still continue. My mission is for the soldiers entirely, most especially the other rank. So you are my priority now. Though our priority is for the nation, but for now as it is now, you guys are still under spell. I don't know. You are still under a mental slavery. So I am here to open your eyes, to awaken your eyes. Look at what they said though. And up to now they have not making any arrest. But they let bloggers maybe post something about bad of the government, which is constituted though. by the virtue of section 22 of the 1999 Constitution. But they'll still go and arrest you. And we will not protest. We will take it as a norm. We will only be complaining. The government is bad. The government is bad. If this revolution will not start in the military, the revolution will never be successful. And that is why I'm mandatory to open your eyes. It may take time. We should be patient. Let us endure all this suffering and keep that anger for the actual date for this revolution. Consequentially, I will even let people to understand that it's unconstitutional for you to be arrested more than 8 days. More than 8 days. In my next video, I'm going to make a video on that. Okay, look at somebody that issued a threat to a whole state. He said it, that there will be mass killing in Benue State if they should kill their cow or any of their brother. Nobody will say anything. But let it be other people. Tell me now that we are not slaves in our father's land. And I will be wearing uniform with pride that I'm a soldier. This is why we need to wake every one of you up. If the officers, they have showed themselves, I will not give up on you, the other ranks. I still believe in you, and I still believe in some patriotic officers. At least one retired Major General came out in intelligence to complain the other day.
Right. So soldier will never chop. Soldiers whose salary can't take them home. Their take-home pay can't take them home. So I don't know where the energy to plan a revolution will come from them, but I mean, then go without saying. Okay, the people of Ogoni land in Rivers State, I believe, were took to the streets simply because of this same matter. Fulani terrorists in Niger Delta. They won't drink crude oil. That's always my own, intrusive thought. Like, what think how they do for Niger Delta that Fulani terrorists are killing people in Niger Delta of Nigeria to drink crude oil or what?
What happened to people? Why can't you arrest those that are killing our people? Why is it that ever since Ogoni has been killed, nobody, police have not made any arrests? There have been no arrests, nobody has been arrested. We should go on dialogue with our killers, and we should go and engage our killers. Why the people that killed us are living peacefully? And you know to go and engage. Sir, at this point, you're not being realistic.
I won't say more than that. I will deliver their message to the Commissioner of Police. But my SU want to chip in 1 or 2 words too.
A call for justice and protection of Ogoni land. We, the concerned citizens of Ogoni land, are compelled to raise our voice against the growing wave of violence and insecurity perpetrated by Fulani herdsmen within our communities. The recent attack in Yonkuru, Ebubu, Sogo, Weke, which have resulted in the tragic loss of our innocent lives, have pushed our collective patience to its limit. This act of aggression is unacceptable or are unacceptable. We have endured enough. Immediately, we demand the immediate, unconditional departure of our Fulani herdsmen from Ogoni land. Yes, that continual presence pose a grave threat to the peace and security of our people. Should this be ignored? Repeat. Should this be ignored? No. And I repeat again. Should this be ignored? No. We will be left with no choice. We will be left with no option but to defend ourselves. Yes. It will be clearly stated. Any further attack on the lives of the Ogoni people will no longer be reported to the Nigerian police and the security agencies. Yes. The people of Ogoni will resort to self-help and self-defense. Yes.
It's not like the CPs avoid.
How many times would they tell you before you know that Nigeria is not for you? Ah! Now they never leave you. They have left you behind. Photo, not be juju be that. Sorry, oh. May God not allow them, make them kill you. 70 years old man. I am mumu na too much. You be mumu. You think say they wise? I said if Ahmed Bola Tinubu fails, hold me responsible.
You say?
I say if Tinubu fails, hold me responsible.
Thank you.
The job people are already angry that this is the worst government.
We have just started.
We must learn a lesson. This man!
You're gonna trust man, Adam, Ojo Abo. Your eyes will see what your mouth cannot talk.
So the people of Ogoni want the government to not only to stop the killings, they want the government to arrest the killers, Fulani terrorists. They won't. No, they won't. Not that they can't, it's that they won't. There are two different words, right? APC, Egbekegbe, is Al-Qaeda People's Congress. Apayan People's Congress. But right now, it is no longer APC per se, because when they started the APC, they had ACN, Tifnumbu, they had APGA, Okorocha, they had New PDP, Atifku, Saraki, and Dino. Then they had CPC, Bokuwari, Malamu, Adisirika, and others. Today, the Okorocha's APGA is gone. Atifku's New PDP, gone. Bokuwari's CPC, who had power then, gone. What you have now is the ACN, but still parading as APC, is Tifnumbu and his gang. So because of all this, their coalition talk or not, there are some certain things I am kind of thinking will likely happen in the coming days and weeks and even months. One of them is based on the happenings in the recent times. Remember when they made Tifnumbu Dickhead Simba of Anambra? And then his wife, they made that one. I can't. What did they make? I'm sorry. Anyway, they have been constanting, or should I say, they have been frequenting eastern part of Nigeria, which which means that these their CPC guys and the rest of them from up north are possibly going to be. So they are looking up to the east for their 2027 too, right? So it is no longer APC per se. This is Tifnumbu's party, ACN. And I don't know what they are going to sell to them in the east. After all, Tifnumbu and his agents have been propagating on social media, including the threats to start killing the Igbos and the Hausas if Tifnumbu should lose in 2027. Anyway, but to Tifnumbu himself, in all of this, well, he will still beat them silly.
You see why I never joined their club, and I will never need their endorsement, and I will beat them in every election. You see why?
All classes. You know what they call F level? When you get failure in all the subjects that you take, F9, F8, F9, F8, FF, double F. That is his name.
It is smoke Igbo. It is take Indian. It is smoke Igbo. It is take Indian.
So that's what will make it more interesting. The clash or the battle of bastards. Dino is back. And in his